You must forgive us, but you see, we have a problem. Tell him our problem, Thorpe.
Hello, welcome back to the System Build. This is Channel 6 and I am your host. I have about an hour left tonight. Yeah, I'm wearing a watch. I have a phone, a music pod, a system clock, and two of the things are cameras I can't move. And this old system, sometimes the clock's wrong. I don't trust it. So, what I want to do this hour is do a test build and see if I can actually turn this thing on. I'm wondering if I can get the video out to this and just see a post. Make sure the hardware works. I have my motherboard holder. I think I'll set it up on that. I haven't put it together yet. That's a project for tomorrow. Oh, look at that. It's actually already marked. This is really wild. Oh, I'm not in build config. Check this out. I saw this. I'm like, there's no plug. It's actually got a little label seal that tells you what the zero fan is on the plug. Figure out where I want to put that. I'll put it over here. There we go. Yep. And I don't know if I actually have a spare power cord here. I'll have to dig one out, and I just had the cords out. One thing I didn't finish looking up, and the reason I waited and didn't do it last night, was the installation process on this CPU. So I have a feeling I'm actually going to have to look that up, and I probably don't need my tea over here. I gotta try to get this mic consistent. Let's see if I have a web browser one. Which one I want to use. It's a Ryzen what? 3800X. Ryzen 7. Looks like a pretty nice CPU. I'm going to see how it goes. Itch. Full screen Progi. That's what I want, I think. Well, let's talk about, here we go. Let's talk about something while I'm loading this. And what usually happens when I run a search is I come up with all kind of YouTube links when I want text. I don't feel like watching somebody's YouTube on stream. I just want to read what the cautions and the issues with this are. Because it's got the am I still on the desktop? I think I am. It's got the little heatsink, at least I'm believing that's heatsink paste. I wonder if there's an instruction card with the thing that I could dig up. Let us see. Yep, the first 5 are YouTube. Okay. I think I paused there. Well, that's all right. Ooh. Cancel that. I guess I'll find out what happens when I look at it. Oh, I never transitioned to the benchtop build. Here's the heatsink stuff. I've never used this. I've seen pre-installed heatsink stuff before. So I am looking for a 1, 2, 3, 4. How AMD recommendations. Processors. Doink. Let's see what we get after it loads. I'm choosing to believe there's no video or any flunky stuff. If I want to go back to my desk, I know how to do that. We use cookies. I don't care. I would like to see the end of these little pop-ups that they do now. I don't know if anybody remembers the pop-up debacle of the early 2000s when they started appearing, and they were just a insidious bane on web browsing. And they haven't changed. Okay, it's a video. Is there actually text? Heatsink paste already put on cooler. Well, it's loading. I'm just going to go look for the manual. Okay, update the, oh look, autoplay video, so much fun. The only thing I've seen the heatsink application in is in the motherboard manual, and it doesn't give me the details I want. Can I trust? On the Wraith is fine, no worries. Okay. It's fine. God agrees with him. That's excellent. Well, kicking that off. I wonder if I should watch the video. I'm not one for much watching videos. And my favorite tools, needle nose pliers and a couple of screwdrivers. I believe the easy way is to do it this way. There's a demarcation on the CPU. I'm going to go get some alcohol wipe cleaner from somewhere. Okay. Whoop. I had my own sound effects. Suppose, there we go. I could pick out some music. Put this in something I didn't. Oh, I used that. Maybe I'll remember to deal with that. Okay, we'll let this dry off. That wipe has a lot of liquid on it. Okay, let's go back to the desktop. And we're there. I wonder if it actually went full screen or if I've just been sitting here staring at this. Let me see. I don't know. But Control 1? No. 5 left. I'm going to say it didn't switch when I hit the thing. I thought I clicked on that. I'll find out when I watch the video. It's dry now. Let us make this attempt at install. I've heard there's some trickiness about this. There's only one way to do this. See, the more they try to prove something, the harder it can actually be to really do it. And I just realized I can't see in here to do this. Once you start wearing glasses, life becomes different. And when I used to be able to see, I can see excellently in low light. No surprise, I'm a stagehand, but once I started wearing glasses, it became more difficult. You have to. Okay, I understand the challenge. This little hook doesn't actually go down to the thing. And the side that's got the pull actually latches on. Okay, well, bam, we're there. Well, The cooler is now locked onto the CPU. Let's take a look at this. It looks pretty solid to me. I've had some old ones that were just an utter pain, but that was pretty smooth. I'll find out. Of course, there's no way to actually look in here and know how good a contact you got. These coolers are so big now, you can't see anything. So what I used to do was just wiggle them a little bit, and this one doesn't move. A little bit of smush on the heatsink grease, whatever you want to call it. And now that I remember, this fan has a couple of different lighting things, but this is the main thing that goes to the CPU fan header, like that. I see that if you do it this way, the cable is really neatly laid out. I like neat cables. I like it when they make neat cables. Okay. There's the video card, is the next step, post. And it should post without a keyboard, even though I won't be able to do anything. I don't know if I want to unplug this keyboard. Whereas these days you can use a mouse in the BIOS too. They've made that change. I have this massive bag of cables that looks like cable overkill. And there are probably instructions somewhere, but a lot of this stuff can only be installed one way. And the two things that I need are the CPU cable and the video card cable. So I'm looking at those unique connectors, and the modular ones are nice because you only have to put on the stuff you actually need, and that's really a bonus compared to the way it used to be, where you just had a tail of cables that came out and you had to take what you got. And I'm wondering why there's two of these that have this double whammy for the video card. I don't understand that. There's probably extra, and it looks like they've got some video card and drive power supplies, but the drives are going underneath, and I'm going to try to do the video card underneath too when I wire this thing fully. I don't know what the deal with these video card ones is. I think there's just two things that are like that. Well, I know this. The power supply itself has indicators. Okay. 24 pin. I think I see how this goes. And this just looks like I'd like a lot shorter cable, because I'm going to be wiring up right next to this thing. I'm not running it. I bumped the thing. I'm not running it from a part of the case. They really make this interesting. How in the world? It's on the wrong side. Oh no, I see. They're so clever. Except for this turn. CPU, PCIe. I see how they did it. Now the thing to understand is it doesn't matter. Oh, maybe this will work out. Because all the power comes out of one power supply. What I don't get is why this cable's got flippy. You can only plug these in one way. It has funky connectors. I'm just going to call it funky. I might do this sitting up like this. Now that I'm looking at this, I kind of thinking I was going to do kind of this kind of thing with a board up here and a metal post that comes up to it. But there's a lot of cable that I might be able to, and it's going to move around because it's a heavy cable. I might be able to hide under this. I'm going to have to take a look. I might take it underneath and bring it up in the back if it'll fit. Yeah, that might work. Take it below the board and have this in the back somewhere. Okay, I have to find that power. See, I come from an era of computing where we had big chunky power cables that went to power-hungry Unix boxes and mainframes that were just like large, bulky things. And whenever you went to look for a power cord, you got a thick one, not this thin little thing. You got a thing that's like twice as thick as this, if you could. You didn't necessarily do that. We are turned off. Okay. And I have to do the video card, and then I should be able to do a post. Unboxing videos aren't my thing. I don't care about unboxing something. You open it up, you pull the tape off, you throw the tape out, you keep the box for a little while in case you have an RMA, because it's really the best way to send it back is in the original box generally. And then when the warranty runs out, if you've got a box for your new equipment, you just throw it out. Although I usually don't replace equipment until after. I like this packaging because they didn't have that box in anything. But generally, you can make sure I got a ground here. Okay. You don't. The warranty runs out, and I use hardware for 2 or 3 or 4 more years. I've only had the RMA thing help me out with 3 or 4 or 5 hard drives and 1 or 2 video cards. Wow, they really have the glue over this. This is a nice one. I'd say 90% of the stuff I buy stays working, and I have hardware that's dozens of years old. I have hardware from the 80s that works. So for me to really consider, oh, I see what my issue is. I have to lift them. Oh, maybe that'll work. I was gonna say I have to lift the motherboard up to get the card in because it's got that lip. on the thing, but I'm sitting up on top of a board, so this is really going to have to, well, I'm going to put standoffs. I have these brass standoffs. And jiggity jig, they have a straight, here it is. Okay, I've got to figure out the PCIe. Every so many iterations of video cards use more and more power. See, here, let me unwrap this one. Yeah, I'm going to have to do something with these cables. A few years ago, you have one of these, I don't know if you can see it. Then they added this to it. Then they started doing two of these and one of these little nubs on the end. And that's what this is. It just gets more and more power consumption in these cards. And now we're up to a... Did I got that right? Yeah. Now we're up to like 800 watt, 900 watt, 1000 watt power supplies. I have to have that, unless I have the wrong thing. Nope. Plug it in the video card first, because this one doesn't fit. It must be one of those other cables. It just doesn't fail to amaze me sometimes how much stuff they come up with. I gotta find the other thing now. What? Yay, that one's right. I gotta plug it into the power supply. They made that end easy at least. I don't know how much of these other noises are going to come through. I wonder if it's one of these permanent. Hey, is it that? Is it that? I don't know if you can use one cable or if you have to use one cable. I'm going to be very pleased. Let's see. Although... You have to put the plug together before you plug it in. Tricky. Just the things we learn every day. And I've done this before. That was it. Okay. A HDMI cable to this HDMI TV, the remote. Just figuring out where to put things. I'm thinking I should have put some music on. This is going to be a boring video just watching me sit here and plug this in. Okay, magic time. Let us go to HDMI 2, which is blank, and video, memory, CPU, heatsink, power supply. On. Oh, I have to figure out where the switch goes. I don't have the power switch marked. I looked at it, but you know, that was a couple days ago. I don't remember. I would really like to. Power LED, power switch, JEP1 is where on the motherboard? Oh, it's JFP1. System fan, JCOM, JUSB, JFP1. Power switch, those two. Yep. Got it, JFP1. Now the moment of truth. Did I do this correctly? It looks like I did it correctly. The CPU fan might be noisier than I like. Or it might also be in full speed. And it could be the video card fans. I don't like that I'm not getting output. This monitor doesn't have DisplayPort, I'm pretty sure. But it's got VGA though, so let's look at the troubleshooting LEDs. I noticed those. I had a brief glimpse at the LED sequences, and I have a feeling I did something wrong. I've been building computers since 1994, when I got an old 386 off my father-in-law. And it's still possible to make mistakes. None of us are ever perfect while we're here on Earth. Power. LED codes. Nope. I saw it in here. I've got to find it. Why is it the CPU? Indicates CPU is not detected or failed. That's not good. VGA, boot. You need a booting device. That's some heat coming off of there too. I wonder... See, this is a thing now where I'm going to have to disconnect the heatsink. And I got the glue on there. Now power off. I'll try another power back on. Sometimes you kick it again and it's got RGB lighting underneath the motherboard, but the CPU light's on. Oh, smart fan. Yeah, I think I might have to call it a night. I don't know what I would have done wrong. I don't have the fan's RGB plugged in, but that shouldn't matter. Doesn't tell me anything except CPU is not detected or fail. I hope the CPU is good. That's going to be a rude thing to return. Alright, let's switch back to our proper video source. Slightly disappointing. And you probably couldn't see that. It's right there. Yeah, you couldn't see that. Alrighty. We're going to call this a night. Let's see if I've got an exit. Good night, my channel watchers, friends. Take care. Have a good time. Do what you feel is right. I'll talk to you later. Be seeing you. Doot. Hey, it didn't transition.